significance as to who I pull through and why I pull through what I do. I'm a fourth generation clairvoyant medium. I'm the first to embrace it, not fear it. So my family thinks what I do is absolutely crazy. They were raised Baptist. I've been raised in a Baptist church, a Methodist church, a Mormon church, a Catholic church. I was a Catholic altar server for a few years, so I've always felt some sort of calling to work with Spirit or with God, or however it is you want to look at it. What initially made me really interested in sharing this gift was that people seemed to really react to me in very good or very really scared ways, and I didn't understand why people reacted that way. I just felt what I knew, you know, and I didn't call it being psychic or clairvoyant or anything. I just knew it. It was something that was just natural to me. And as I said, my other family members who have this gift are very afraid of it because they didn't understand it, and you usually fear what you don't understand. So that's what pushed me to learn a little bit more about what this gift was and why I would know what people didn't want me to know. And then I kind of realized, oh hey, you know, this is what this thing is. So once I understood what I had, I was able to put it to work, if you will, and not necessarily give a message to everybody. I don't know if anybody watches TV, the Long Island Medium. A lot of people have seen her show. She's fascinating to me because she's really courageous in the fact that she doesn't care who you are, what your background is. She's got a message from someone in spirit, she will walk right up and give it to you. That's what my family fears, is that reaction that somebody who hasn't asked for that is going to have. And a lot of the reactions they have had, again, have put them off to it. So I embraced it, and I give those messages to people, and as Danita knows from firsthand experience, I do bring through a lot of your loved ones in spirit who have messages to impart to you in one way, shape, or form. Some of it's closure and peace, some of it's guidance, you know, with some issues that you may be working on, or some of our loved ones in spirit become our guardian angels, and they stick with us throughout our life, which is a rare gift, but it is not so rare that it's not common. So I bring it up to you because that may come up in our readings today. But I do want to let everybody know that just because somebody is in spirit, I don't really have control over who comes through and what they have to say. I am just the vessel for them. They don't have a voice box, so they use mine. So, you know, what messages come through, it may sound like me, but it's not me. I kind of take my ego and my identity a little bit out of the space so that, again, whatever your loved one has to say comes through. Now, I also am a clairvoyant that brings through angels and angelic messages, so if you do not hear from someone in spirit, but you do hear from an angel, don't be surprised, because we all have guardian angels, and we all do have the ability to connect with any of the archangels. They can be in many places at once. That's one of the greatest gifts that the angels can give to us, is that, like Archangel Michael is a big one that I work with, and Archangel Raphael. Archangel Michael is our guardian warrior protector. He's the archangel. I tell people of our self-esteem, our self-confidence, our boundaries, you know, courage, anything that you need strength to get through. Archangel Michael may come through for you today with a message. Archangel Raphael is the angel of healing, and it's about spiritual health, mental health, physical health, emotional health, all of this. So I can tell everybody's getting worked up already. I want you to know there's a lot of spirit energy in this room. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I just want to, you know, give everybody kind of an idea as to who's coming through, what's coming through, and where we're going to go today. So does anybody have any questions before I begin? Okay. Oh, one of the things that I want to tell you is that I do work with my spirit guides, and I do want to give them the credit for helping me with these messages today, because my spirit guides tend to be the ones that if I'm having a problem getting a name, or if there's somebody we really want to try and contact but we can't get them to come through, sometimes my spirit guides will at least be the in-between person with that. So I do want to acknowledge that I do have some spirit guides with us today, and I may speak of your spirit guides in return. So with that, I'm going to get started. I have got to come to you right here. What's your name? Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer, immediately I have got a lot of spirit energy around me. Are you hoping to hear from somebody in spirit today? Okay. I feel like this is on your father's side. Does this resonate with you? Well, we're going to go here first, because this is on mother's side. I want to go with father's side first, because we've got to go with what I'm getting. Somebody on your father's side, this isn't a very close connection, but somebody on your father's side does want to let you know that they are here. This is a masculine energy, somebody that's standing not really close to me. So what that usually means is that this is either a grandfather Or again, this is somebody that was on your father's side of the family who you weren't very close to. It's a masculine presence, and this person does want you to let you know that they're here more for moral support than anything. So that's their message, and I'm just going to go with that. And come here to mother's side. Is your mother in spirit? Grandmother? Somebody that you're really, really close to. I've got someone like holding on to me, clinging on to me on mother's side. So to me, when they're that close, it's, you know, the first message that they're trying to impart is that they want to give you a hug. And again, where they're standing is in a mother's space or a grandmother's space. Whether this is your mother or grandmother doesn't necessarily have to be accurate as to what their role was, but if this was someone who was like a mother to you or like a grandmother to you, that is this female energy that's coming through on this side. I'm hearing an M name, something with an M. I don't know if that means anything. Don't worry if it does or not. Your grandmother's name's
my daughter's great grandma.
Okay. Was your daughter really close with her?
Mm-hmm. No.
Okay, because I'm feeling like this is a message to get to her through you.
It's grandma.
Okay, then we're going to go with that. That's who this is that I have. And I do have several people here on this side. So again, you know, I'm asking my guides to separate them out a little bit because you've got a lot of love coming from this female energy outside. I'm hearing, you know, granddaughter, grandbaby. So this is for a child. What I'm hearing is that she needs to know that she's surrounded by her angel, that she's like her guardian angel. I'm seeing that, you know, does your daughter pray at night, say prayers? Because I'm seeing this person around when there's a prayer going on. So they want to talk about, they hear your prayers, that they're doing their best to answer those, but to know that she's not alone. And, you know, I'm going to go with, you know, the impression that she's giving me is your daughter's really gifted. Does your daughter say anything about seeing things, either seeing sparks of energy? What they're showing me is like little sparks of light. Your daughter can see these little orbs or little sparks of light, and that's their way of letting her know that she's around. She's got this very fairy child energy too. Does she like to play? Of course, every child likes to play outdoors, but does she like to play with rocks or anything like really natural stuff? Does she get, I'm seeing like rocks and flowers and plants. There's something about your daughter's really attracted to these things. Something about that energy feels really comfortable and important for Spirit to bring up with respect to her, because they're trying to impart to me, the feeling that I'm getting is that I don't feel like she's having trouble at school, but what they're telling me is like, you know, there's trouble with friends or something like that. And it's because she's got such a good heart and such a good nature, because it's, you know, they're talking about nature, so they're giving me nature symbols. Something in her nature is very soft, very soothing, and very angelic, you know, very innocent. Of course a child would be innocent, but something about her is very rare. And they want to talk about, you know, letting her feel free to open up to you to talk about things like seeing angels or talking to angels or seeing little fairies. Don't discount her imagination is what I'm getting from this person, okay? Now she's pulling back. Do you have a friend in spirit that you were hoping to hear from? I've got somebody behind me. Whenever anybody comes up behind me, this is somebody that had your back in life, okay? This person, I feel like this is a masculine energy, okay? Again, I'm getting that guardian angel thing that this person is with you. Do you write him letters? Have you thought about writing a letter? I'm seeing either he's written you a letter, you have something that he's written you and you're holding on to it. Is that, okay. I was going to say, because I'm just getting a very, very strong impression about writing. So I want to go to this letter that you have from him. There's something about, what I'm hearing is that there's a message in this that you carry on, you know, that you keep with you. Something about this letter brings you comfort, and he wants you to keep that comfort. He's very much saying that, you know, that's the intention, that he wants you to hold on to that. But he also wants you to kind of, I'm hearing the words let go a little bit, okay? And what I get the impression on is that I've got a lot of nervous energy going on in my stomach, you know, that there's a lot of anxiety, okay? And that's what he wants you to let go of, is the anxiety, okay? And that he's working with you to get some of that released. You know, stop holding it in is what he's saying. Do you hold it in a lot? okay? Because that's where he's coming back to this writing. I'm getting that, you know, he wants you to write to him and know that when you do write to him, that he is right over your shoulder. Again, he's got your back, so he's never going to go away. He is a guardian angel for you. But he's got your back, and it's important for you to get that out, is what he's saying, and he's here to listen. And the best way for you to get that out is to write a letter to him, and know that when you're writing, he is with you, and that anything that you have to say, no matter how private or how uncomfortable it is, get it out. He's saying that's part of his healing contract with you, if you will. He's here to help you get rid of some of that, I want to call it past life issue kind of stuff too. You know, a lot of, either, I won't say it's trauma, but tragic experiences have stuck with you, and you're trying to keep it strong, and you're trying to put on this, you know, this strength mask, if you will, so that nobody has to, he's saying, you know, don't feel like a burden. Don't feel like a burden to me. He says, if you feel like sharing these things with anybody else is just too much trouble, you know, to ask, you know, I'll take care of it. I'm a strong and independent person. He's saying, give that to me. That's what I want to help you with. So he's saying, continue with that, keeping that letter, and remind yourself that what you're holding in, you need to let go, and write a letter to him. Is there a song that you hear often that makes you think of him? He's bringing up this song. He's bringing up music. I'm hearing, you know, like when you're in your car. Does this happen to you mostly in your car? I was going to say, because he's talking about being at the wheel, and, you know, it's a great place to reach you when you're in your car, because our ego self is busy doing something else. Our right brain and left brain work with different things. While your ego is busy doing, you know, the regular everyday stuff, your other part of your brain is more open for telepathy and ideas, inspiration. And what he's saying is that, you know, when you hear that song, that's his way of letting you know that he's there. But there's also a message in the song, too, that he wants to get across to you. So when you hear this song, know that he's there, and that this is his kind of guidance to you. And that he can get through to you more often through songs while you're driving if you start a dialogue with him, okay? And the whole purpose that he's bringing up all these things is that he wants you to talk to him in some way, shape, or form, okay? Whether it's writing, whether it's getting in the car, putting on the music, and, you know, you might look crazy to some passerby talking to yourself in the car, but if you got the radio on, you know, I'm just singing a song, you know, don't worry about what other people think. Really allow yourself to express what you're thinking and feeling to him, because you need to get it out. So whatever that song is, that's kind of would be his calling card, if you will, to let you know, hey, don't forget, I'm still here. He's saying he does a lot to let you know that he's around. But again, you know, we're so busy in our everyday life, we really miss out on a lot of the things that come our way. A lot of times people in spirit, especially our loved ones in spirit, will leave you dimes or pennies. And you'll find them everywhere and often. And the more often that you acknowledge that, hey, you know, I'm getting that this is from you, you know, you're going to find more of them, because it's acknowledging, you know, hey, I'm not gone. I'm not somewhere else, if you will. I may not be in a physical body, but I'm with you. That's what he wants you to know. So, again, he's not going to be going away. He's going to be somebody who's with you for life. It's about opening up a dialogue and trusting yourself, trusting that that's okay, whether it's something that you can write in a diary and lock up, and, you know, it's just between you and spirit. Do get that out of you, because that's what he wants to impart to you. Do you have any questions for him while he's here? Are you holding on? I'm getting something about the way that he passed really bothers you, right? Yeah, okay. I was going to say, because he's not letting go of this. There is a question that you have. He's saying, you know, that, are you worried that he went through a lot of suffering? He's saying, I did not suffer, that it was very, very quick. Okay, it may have appeared. He says, I snapped out of my body long before any of that was going on. Did he hold on for a little bit? Is this good? Is this what I'm getting an impression of, like?
I guess there was different like medical reports.
Okay.
Some said he died at the scene. Some said he was died in air care. I don't know.
Okay, because he's talking about both of these things. I think that this is a way to kind of get you the truth, more or less. The truth is, he was gone instantly. He may have, his body may have held on for a little bit, but his spirit was gone instantly. It was just like, you know, I'm seeing a snap of a finger, just that instantaneous. It was just being pulled out. It was a surprise, it was a shock at first. But what he's saying is that while we're here, it may have looked like this was a tragedy, This is that tragedy thing that we were talking about earlier. It may have appeared that it was a tragedy, but this was part of what he signed up for. And he sends his love, he sends his condolences, which is so funny because, you know, normally you don't hear someone in spirit sending condolences, but that's what he's saying. You know, it's a part of you, a part of your life has died is what he's saying, and you need to grieve for that. And that he's here to help you grieve that part of your life. But know that it was his time to go. While it may have seemed, you know, out of the blue, it was his time. He fulfilled what he was here to do in your life and in other people's lives. And again, he's not going anywhere. He's going to be right behind you. He's always going to have your back. And he sends that love. And I'm being told to give you a rose. So I'm going to give you a flower from him. What was his name?
Brad.
Brad. He's talking about fashion. Does this make you think of anything?
Him and my daughter.
Okay. I'm like, I'm getting into fashion. Okay. So, again.
I want his clothes and his shoes.
Okay, this is why we're talking about fashion. I'm seeing a wardrobe. Like, hey, what are we doing with the wardrobe here? All right, well, he's talking about that to let you know, like, those are things we need to let go of as well. You know, you're holding on to, he's saying, getting rid of those things isn't going to get rid of me. You're always going to have me in your heart. You know, there's a love energy between you, and love never dies. It's always in your heart, and it's always in his heart. With your daughter, was your daughter really close to him as well?
That was her dad.
Did they play dress up a lot together? Because I'm getting like this, you know, like pick a few things that she would want to keep as a memento or a memory of those good times that they had together. But the major message that he's trying to get across is just remember the good times. Don't hold on to, again, you know, that moment of it ending. You've got a lifetime that was, you know, put together for a reason. You have great memories. Those are what he wants you to hold on to and what he wants her to hold on to. So again, go through those together because I think this is a healing thing for both you and her. But, you know, go through those together. Hold on to the things that, you know, have a good positive memory of some times that they had together. And let her know that anytime she puts that on, you know, it's like having a hug from dad. Like I'm seeing a jacket or something, you know, sweater, something that you would put on. Saying, you know, tell her when she puts that on, it's like getting a big hug from dad, okay? All right, and that is everybody in spirit for you. Do you have any other questions? Okay, I hope that helped. I really do. Okay. Everybody's going to get a message today. I can feel it. Let's see. Okay. I've got to come here to you. What's your name?
Tracy.
Tracy. Okay. Okay, Tracy. Whew. Ooh, we've got people on father's side coming through very strongly. Okay, is your dad in spirit? Somebody like a dad? Okay, I was going to say, this is somebody that's standing really close to me, so this would be like somebody that was either like a dad or very close to a father figure for you. I'm getting an R name, and I don't know if that's his name or if that's somebody associated with him, but I'm hearing an R name. Do you know a Rick?
My brother.
Okay, well, let's go with that. I got it. This is like, this is what I need. I need everybody to understand. You gotta work with me. They get me, and I've got to figure out what it is. So let's go with that. He wants to talk about your brother. Does your brother have? He's telling me I'm sorry. I don't know if he needed to send an apology to your brother, but I'm hearing, you know, I'm sorry. He's just saying, and heartfelt apologies. I'm getting choked up, so this is something that really bothers him. And it's important to pass this message on, okay? It's something that I'm hearing what's done is done. And if I could take it back, I would. But just please accept my apologies. Can you pass that on? Yeah, and he says, and thank you for... He is really emotional about this. Very emotional. Did they have like a falling out? Or...
Not really. He just, as we grew older, he just kind of disconnected from us.
Okay. That's where I get like the falling out energy. Like, you know, it's just like we just weren't close. I don't know if there was alcoholism involved, but I'm getting this hit about, you know, it wasn't me necessarily, you know, that there were some other things going on and I was really not in control. and for that I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mean to, I was saying something about, you know, saying some words that really hit home, that kind of below the belt kind of stuff. Like, I don't know if they had an argument one time, but there's this apology coming about, if I could take it back, I would, you know, and again, it wasn't me, it was the alcohol or something involved with that. Do you have a daughter? And he's talking about you, his daughter. Are you thinking about having children? He won't let me go away with this daughter thing. Were you thinking about having children? Did you want to have a child? This might be a little bit.
I wanted to at one point in time, but.
This might be a little bit personal. Did you have a miscarriage?
I think I did. It was a really long time ago.
Okay, I want to go with that. That's why I'm asking, because I'm getting this really strong energy of there is a child spirit around you. And he's bringing her through. So typically what happens is that when we have these, we call them miscarriages in this life, but in the other spectrum of dimensions that goes on where our spirits are, they say that a lot of times when you have a miscarriage or when you have an abortion, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. That spirit knew that you were going to make that decision before you were even pregnant with that spirit. And it was something they signed up to do. They did not want to be born. They wanted to experience what it was like to be loved and nurtured in a womb. Okay, and that was it. They didn't want to come through and experience the rest of it. So there's something about this miscarriage that whether you remember it or not, it kind of stuck with you a little bit, and there's just a little bit of healing that goes along with this, and I think this is why they're together, because it's about knowing that, you know, it wasn't time, it wasn't meant to be anything more than it was, but know that you're still a great person, you're a great mother, you're like everybody else's mother, basically, is what I hear. I hear that you're a great mother, you know, and that's what they want. Both of them are saying, you know, you are a great mom, and that's the message from both of them. Did you have anybody else on this side? I've got somebody else hanging around, and I don't know who this is. Who was it that you were hoping to hear from alongside of these guys?
My grandma.
Okay, I was going to say, I feel like I got a female energy, and she is kind of close, but, okay, well, let's bring it. Come on, step forward. Was she shy? I was going to say, I feel like she's really hesitant to speak up, and I don't feel like this person's personality would have been somebody that would have held back any, but she's cautious, is just very cautious. She wouldn't have believed in this, is what she's telling me. She wouldn't have believed in this. Okay, that's why. She says, I wouldn't have believed in any of this. It's okay. You can come on forward. Do you have some of her, I want to call them heirlooms, because she's showing me some things that are like, you know, family generational kind of things, okay? She says that she's really happy that you have them. Do you get them out like on special occasions? Like I'm seeing, you know, I don't know if she was a big woman for like the holidays, like Thanksgiving or Christmas or something, but you know, you get them out at that time, and when you do, it makes you think of her, and you know, that's her way of saying, you know, I'm around. When that stuff is out, you really draw me closer to you, and I want you to know it's not your imagination, you're not just wishful thinking or hoping, you know, that I'm around is what she's trying to say. And she keeps on saying, I wouldn't have believed this. She keeps telling me she would not have believed this. But she, you know, she wants to let you know that she's around and that she appreciates those moments, and that those are the times that she wants you to hold on to those positive memories of her. Okay? Oh, goodness. The three of you are together, right? Okay, I was going to say, I know you are, but now I'm getting like other people coming through. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to focus on the three of you together right now. You've got a lot of people. In fact, I'm going to step a little bit closer because it's definitely a wide variety of loved ones. What's your name?
Debbie.
Debbie, okay. Was this your mother? Okay, okay. I was going to say, I'm getting like, we need to go to her, we need to, okay. Are you dealing with some things, like, we want to talk about closure, and the way that she's showing me closure is like you're either dealing with like being the executor of an estate, or having something to do with getting things wrapped up, or other people are doing this and there's fighting and bickering going on. She wants to talk about this. Is this something that's pretty recent? Because I feel like it's a fresh wound, you know? She's talking about taking a step back a little bit. of course, everything is emotional. She's saying, you know, there's a lot of emotions tied into it, and it is not easy for anyone. Everybody hangs on to their grief, you know, until they're ready to let go of it. And she's saying, you're more ready to let go of it than anyone else is, and that's kind of holding you in this stuck state, if you will, where it's like, I just want this to be over. I just want this to be closed. I want peace. And she's saying, you know, I'm at peace with whatever. She's saying, you know, I'm at peace, I'm in a wonderful place, and that's what I want for you to have and for everyone else to get to. So whatever it is that you need, you've got her blessing. There's something about, does somebody need her permission, or this is what I would have wanted, or she would have wanted? Something about you've got my blessing is really important for her to impart to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, she I always thought it was my fault she died.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
She had breast cancer, and she said she was going to take care of herself, just to prove everybody that they didn't need her.
Wow.
That was what.
Wow. Oh, I know exactly where she's going with it. Like I said, you know, she's really shy about giving some of these messages. You know, she is kind of standing at a distance. Now I understand why. I think it's like there's a little bit of shame on her part, because I'm hearing apologies from her, definitely. But, you know, what she's saying is, careful what you wish for, you know, and I think that this is a lesson for her, if you will, about, you know, she's saying, you know, I wish I would have taken better care of myself. That is what her message is. And she's saying it isn't your fault. Not any way, shape, or form does this have anything to do with you. Now, what's funny is that spirit guides are coming through on this one. So this is your spirit guides and my spirit guides and your mom and her spirit guides and angels. I mean, we are calling in a symphony of, you know, massive light workers here to try and get something across to you. They want me to talk about this lesson of what our physical ailments are spiritually rooted. And she's saying, you know, that I don't know how her relationship was with her mother, but her mother and hers relationship is why she had the breast cancer in the first place. It affected her emotionally. It got into her spirit, and she was not able to deal with that very well. And she says, you know, hindsight being 20/20, you know, if I'd learned that lesson while I was in life, things would have been different, and it would not have been that way at all. But it was part of what she signed up to learn in this lifetime, and, you know, she can't change that, but she does want to impart healing. So we've got a lot of energies and spirit guides trying to get you this closure, if you will. And they're saying, you know, just ask. Just ask. Ask for what you need from us, and we will make it happen. The essence of what you want is peace of mind and closure. Ask for peace of mind and closure. No matter how things start to unfold, things might fall apart, new things may come in, but they're saying, ask. We can't, you know, you're a being of free will. We can't intervene unless you ask us to. We will not interfere with you. But she's saying, you know, I will help out if you ask for me to do this. And she's showing me writing too. So I want to talk about, you don't need to write her all the time. Her message is like, you need to get out what you've been holding in. You know, write her a letter, and no holds barred is what she's saying. Let it out. If you're angry with her, tell her what you're angry about. If you're sad, tell her what you're sad about. If you're guilty, if you're feeling ashamed, all of it, get it out in a letter. And she's saying, really, give yourself that time. Allow yourself to flow. Get it out. Don't hold it back. Make the time and the space. Shut the door. Turn on a radio so nobody can hear you. If you need to scream into a pillow, do it. She says, get it out. Get it out. And just shut the whole wide world out for just that moment and allow yourself that closure. She says, when you're done writing it down, burn it. Take it outside and burn it, and know that you will never feel that way ever again. That it's your form of closure. It will bring you peace of mind. Okay. And then what is your name?
Jim.
Jim? Okay. I'm like, I'm immediately going to you. Was this your mother as well, or are you your father? Okay, I was going to say, because I'm feeling like I've still got all of these people here, and I'm feeling connected with you. So let's go there. So this was your father. He's talking about farming. Does this mean anything to you? Did he grow up on a farm, or are you somebody that works outdoors? Like I'm seeing a barn or a shed, a lot of property.
My dad had like a little wood shop.
Okay, all right. It's hard. They give me symbols, but I gotta interpret them. But you know, I'm seeing this. You know, it's a wooden building, so let's go with that. You know, this was his hobby. something that he would do for fun. Do you also do this? Okay, I was gonna say, I feel like this is a connection that he's trying to make here. Okay, so that's what it is. All right, so do you, when you work on your hobby, do you feel him close to you? Do you feel like, you know, I'm not alone? I feel inspired sometimes. He's saying, this is his way of letting you know that it's not your imagination. He really is with you. And that a lot of times, that's when he can kind of inspire you and guide you and get you some closure. He's saying you need a little bit of closure too. He says, you don't have to miss me because I'm not gone. Again, it's that I'm not here in a physical body, but I'm still with you. And where he's standing right now is really funny because he's moved behind me. I want to talk about him being somebody that is your guardian angel, somebody that has your back. I feel like, he's never going to be somebody who's too far away. You think about him often. He says he gives you a lot of signs. Do you see, and when I'm saying signs, I mean literally, like either a sign on a road, like a license plate, a billboard, a magazine cover, something. Signs. Do you see signs and think of your dad? If you don't, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine, but just be aware. You're going to start seeing, literally, these signs that stick out and make you think, that's something Dad would have said, or, oh, that makes me think of Dad. Just know that that's his way. All of this is about, again, dialogue. Creating a dialogue with them in spirit and knowing that it's safe to do so, that you're not crazy, you're not just making this up, it isn't your imagination, it's real. And he's saying, he tries to give you a lot of signs. He says musically, there are a couple songs that you would think of, that he does send your way. But, he's saying that he can really get more messages through to you in a sign than in a song, per se. I'm seeing feathers, too. Do you find feathers?
I like birds.
Okay, but I'm seeing like...
He likes birds. He likes birds.
Okay, maybe that's what it is. But I want to talk to you about also, finding feathers as a way of knowing that your dad is around. Because there's something about feathers that's really strong with his energy. So if you find feathers... I'm seeing like, you might find a penny here and there, but you would probably find more feathers if you were open to looking for them. It'd be something you'd ignore until somebody pointed out to you, hey, if he's leaving you feathers, watch how many feathers will come your way once you know, So that's his message. But, he's sending you lots of love, and, he's telling me that you've got some things that you're kind of worrying about right now that you need to just let go of. He says that it's more of an illusion. It's fear that's kind of creeping up on you it's not real. He says there's nothing to be afraid of. I'm hearing panic, I don't know if you've had something that's made you kind of panic or if you're worried about this one thing popping up and then you're going to panic. He's saying let go of it. That again, he's got your back. And talk to him anytime that you start to find yourself feeling that panic or that anxiety or that fear is coming up. He's saying, just call out for me. I've got your back. I will make sure that you do not have... And Archangel Michael is popping in on this one too. So, you've definitely got your dad as this guardian angel, but you've also got the Archangel Michael as your guardian. You are very much protected, and your boundaries are not going to be messed with as long as you just keep on asking. You're not alone, is what your dad is saying. This isn't all on your shoulders. This doesn't all fall on you. You can ask for help, and it doesn't have to be necessarily physically somebody here to help. You can start out with just, hey, Dad, and while you're working in your workshop, doing that. That would be a great time to connect with him because you already feel that connection. So just know that when you do, again, it's not your imagination. If you need to turn the radio up so nobody thinks you're crazy because you're out there talking to yourself, do so, but get it out. It's all about getting it out, and don't worry about anything. It's going to be taken care of. Do you have any questions for any three of you? Do you have any questions for any of these people? Okay. All right. Well, they're stepping back, so I hope that really helps, okay?
Thank you.
All right. I'm coming to you. What's your name?
Gwen.
Gwen, okay. All right. Oh, you definitely have some evil in spirit that want to come through. Okay, I've got, on Mom's side, I'm going to say 2, maybe 3, okay? They're really, really close to each other. Are these 3 women that were closely related? Okay. I was going to say, because I mean, like, you don't just get one of them. You get all 3 at once. Okay. What they're saying to me is that they've been trying to send you a lot of messages, too. And they're going to music right off the bat. What song are you hearing repetitively? Okay. if you don't remember it, that's okay. This is a message about, we're trying to make you aware of some of the things that we're doing to get your attention. There is one song in particular that I'm telling you, it's like when you turn the radio on, you could flip through the channels and it seems like that song is on every channel that you flip to. They're saying, we're trying to get a message across to you. You were really close with all three of these women. And they're talking about, it's funny because I feel like, you know, like a mother, grandmother energy kind of combined here, you know, and they're talking about being empowered women, being independent women, being strong women, always being prepared, you know, not just thinking 200 feet ahead of what you're going to be doing, but, you know, it's like 1,000 feet, you know, you think more outside the box, you think more into the future than the average person does so that you're not caught off guard, so that you're not unprepared. Talking about Girl Scouts, you know, like you're like a Girl Scout. You know, you are always prepared. There's nothing that's going to catch you by surprise. And they're saying, you know, they're laughing about it, you know, because they're saying that that's something to love about you. That's one of your greatest qualities, and they want to bring that up because they think that that's something you need to remember. That's something that, does it remind you of them? Are they that way as well? Okay, I was going to say, I feel like there's one person in particular who keeps on pushing, so it's grandmother then. Keep up with that, because it's like, you know, here again, I've got like that heirloom thing, but this is like, you know, what's in your DNA, you know, this is in your roots. This is something that's going to be passed on and passed on and passed on, and it's something that is a virtue that is absolutely meaningful and beautiful to her. So that's her way of letting you know. And do you have something of hers that you keep out? She wants to talk about like a display, something on display.
I have a picture of my grandfather that I keep out on display.
Okay, all right, because we were talking about things on display. You know, it's funny because she's saying, does this picture get knocked over? Have you noticed it getting moved around, or there's something going on with this picture? Again, this could just be aware. This is something, you know, that may be coming up. She's talking about this picture on display being moved around as a way to let you know that she's around. And is he in spirit? Okay, I was going to say, because immediately I'm like, all right, hello, who are you? So now he's coming in together. He's going to hold on for a second. Thank you.
Very polite.
I was going to say, he was like, I'm here, and then he stepped back, like, don't want to get in the way. She's saying, you know, that watch for this picture to be either moved at a different angle or to literally just be knocked right over. And this is a way of her, not him, which is really ironic, of her letting you know that she is around. Does the frame have some special meaning? Was it her frame, or?
It was their picture completely.
Okay. Okay, that's what it is then. She must have really adored that picture of him because it's something that she treasures, literally.
It was a portrait that was drawn of him. It's a self-portrait that somebody sketched.
Oh, yeah, then no wonder. She was really partial. She just said it's got so much meaning to her. Now you know that she's saying, you know, she's so glad that you have that, you know. And I don't know if there was some fighting going on about who had this picture, because I'm feeling like, you know, I'm so glad you have that. Of all people, you were meant to have that. So, kind of, was she a feisty woman?
Yes.
Wow, because I'm getting like, I mean, like, she's a really feisty character right now. She's like, that was yours, you deserved it, and nobody else should have had it, okay? Like, right, so that's her way of letting you know that she is around, and again, that she sends her love, and, you know, she's always going to be there for you, too. Anytime you need to talk to her, bring her up. Now, who are these other two women that are with her? Is this her sister, maybe?
I'm thinking that the one would be technically her cousin.
Okay.
The third one I'm not too sure of. Maybe her mother, but I never knew her.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because I've got somebody that's like kind of right behind her, which would be like, you know, if I were to line myself up with my family, you know, in a straight line, that would make sense. So it's her mother that's coming through with her, and then there's somebody else standing, you know, on an opposite side of her, which is in a weird position for me. So cousin is probably accurate for that one too. And these three are together, you know, I mean, like, they're in cahoots almost, is like the word to use, you know, they work as a team. You don't get one without the other, is more or less the message. And I don't know that you were very close to your great-grandmother. That would have been your great-grandmother?
No, she died well before I was born.
Okay, I was going to say, but she is around you. And again, you know, it's funny because Grandma was talking about it's in your DNA, it's in your roots. I think that might have been part of her personality too, and maybe that's why she's around you, kind of yeah, we've got your back for sure. So just know that the three of them are together. If anybody in your family was ever curious about, any of those people, they're together, they're happy, and obviously they're having a good time. So that's good. And now they're telling me I can stop. Okay, thank you. Then I could go over here to grandfather energy. Okay. And he's going to step a little bit closer. He's really polite. Very, very polite gentleman. Was he a gentleman? I mean, like a gentleman comes out,
It's he.
He wants to talk about your love life and your relationships. Are you with a gentleman right now? Or, okay, I was going to say, because I'm getting this gentleman word like big and bold. We got to talk about the gentleman. Okay, I feel like not that you need his blessing, but I feel like he really wants to make it a point to say that it's you do have a gentleman in your life, and that he gives the thumbs up. He gets his approval. Did he not get to meet? Was he not? Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. Now, these women came back. Now, I understand. You can stay here because I understand this is just... Were you worried that they were not at your wedding? Okay, they were at your wedding. This is...
No, I'm married. I'm worried that they're not.
You're worried that they're not... Okay, this is their message. They're like, we will be there. We're going to be there. We're not going to be somewhere else on such a special day. So, is it coming up soon?
No, I just recently started dating somebody new, but...
Okay, well then take that kind of as a hint that maybe this is that guy you've been looking for that engagement for. Because like I'm seeing a very, very strong energy from both of them. Like, don't you worry about a thing. We will be there, and you've got you've got his approval, gentleman energy, fantastic. And he's talking about engagements. So just know that you either got an engagement coming up, or that they're going to be at that engagement. Whatever it is that you have coming up that you're worried and you miss them and you wish that they were there, don't you worry. They are there. They're with you in spirit. They're always in your heart. And that's the message that they want to get across to you. And both of them pulled back. So I hope that helped you. Wonderful. I'm coming to you next, but I have somebody back here that needs a message really quick. So I've got to step back this way. Are the three of you together, or any of you? Okay, I was going to say, is there anybody that the three of you would have known in spirit together? Okay, I want to go to that person first. Is this a friend? I'm getting a masculine energy, okay? And I'm going to you. I've really got a strong connection with you. I'm going to start with you if this hits you, and then you next. We'll go that way. Because I'm going here first, I'm getting you second, and I'm also getting a connection with you. So, what's your name?
Renee.
Renee? Okay. Were you hoping to hear from a friend who had passed away? Okay. And was this a masculine energy? Okay. Because I'm getting, it's where the person, where they're standing at is like someone that would have been kind of fatherly. Was he very...
Great grandpa, pretty much.
Okay, I was going to say, because I'm getting this feeling of like, mothers are typically nurturing, fathers are typically, the givers. Somebody that would have been a giver, somebody that would have, tried to guide you in the right direction, always had great advice for you, but very fatherly. So that's the energy that I'm getting very strongly with you right now. And it's funny because of where they're standing, it's confusing to me. So I think there's a reason for this. So I'm going to go with what I'm feeling and just continue to try to get the message. I almost want to talk about that. There was some, I'm getting the word boundaries, okay? I don't know if there's somebody in your life right now that you need to have some extra boundaries with, but I feel like, whoever this is trying to say to you, not only that he has your back, but that, he's got your back in a protective sort of way. Somebody's stepping over a line. Somebody is either already crossed you or pushing the boundaries in a sense that it would be like you've stepped over the line. Okay, does this make sense for you? Okay. And again, it's that, I'm fatherly, I want to protect you from this. And I feel like it's a very strong message for you to just, whoever this person is, this person in spirit is saying, this isn't really anybody that you need to keep around. This is somebody that's more of a distraction and somebody that has been put in your path to teach you about your own independence, your own empowerment, and again, trusting your instincts, okay? I really want to talk about trust your gut. You've been having a lot of gut feelings. And I'm not saying you're ignoring them. I don't get the impression that you ignore them. I hate to say this, but the word they're giving me is don't make excuses for this other person's behavior. Again, this is about keeping your boundaries strong and making sure that nobody can cross that line, you know? And this is kind of that protective energy, you know, is going to be there for you to keep you protected around this person. But the big result here is just distance yourself from this person. This person is not of any value other than to teach you, I'm a strong, very powerful person who has my boundaries intact. I don't need to learn any other lesson other than that, because this could go to a place where it would be more hurtful. And I'm feeling like this is someone that you're holding close to your heart. Don't let those heartstrings get pulled, because I'm feeling like, you know, I get pulled this way and I get pulled this way. Quit making excuses. Cut those heartstrings. Be in your own power. Love yourself, and ask yourself, you know, if you were on the others, if you were in their shoes, would you say this is okay? Would you say, oh, that's all right? Would you make that excuse? What would you say to yourself if you were in this person's shoes? Okay? All right. Was there anyone else you were hoping to hear from, maybe on your father's side? Like a grandfather or like a great-grandfather, someone that might have been an uncle? I've got somebody, he's not real close, but he just popped in right when we finished that message. So I just want to say that you may have like a great-grandfather or an uncle energy, somebody that you wouldn't have, I'm very not close to at all, but somebody in your family, again, we're going with DNA kind of stuff. Somebody has got your, you know, your interest in mind here on that side as well. Was there anybody else that you were hoping to hear from?
There's a whole bunch of different people.
I was going to say, I've got some random spots being filled. Was there a young girl, or I think this might be your spirit guide, honestly. I think I've got a joy guide of yours with me. And so spirit guides are usually children between the ages of 2 to 17, and I know you don't think of children as 17, but they're very, very innocent. This girl looks like she would be around like the age of anywhere between like 6 to 8. You know, she's about like yay tall. And she's got, you know, dark brown hair that's long, and she's wearing a dress, really flowy, pretty dress, as she calls it. Joy guides are very childish. They're very innocent, very pure in heart and mind. And I think the reason that she wants to step through, and even my joy guide is saying, yeah. So I'm going to go with this message. She's saying, you know, it's important for you to know that you have spirit guides that, you know, we all have spirit guides that have a different role in our life. It's first of all really important to know they exist, because if you don't know they exist, why would you ask for some help from somebody you don't even know is there? So she's saying that this is a way of letting you know that she is there. And then she's also saying, you know, tell her what my job is. A joy guide's job is to do whatever brings you more joy. So if there's something that you would really like to have right now, you know, think of it as like your fairy godmother, if you will, because she's got that little, you know, childish fairy godmother sort of thing going on. But she's saying, you know, just ask me for whatever it is that would bring you more joy. Again, if we don't ask, they can't intervene. She's saying, ask me for what would bring you more joy, and I will help you to get that in front of you. I will help you to get there. So I think it's important for you to know that you have some joy guide energy around you right now. And she could also help to alleviate this situation too, is what I'm hearing. With this other person that you have that boundary thing going on with, I feel like her message, she's so wise, her message is, you know, don't try and change that person into who you want them to be. Realize that who you want them to be is out there as someone else. And that once you kind of lock onto that, that's where she can go out and start to bring that person to you. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right, because she just stepped back, so. Okay. Somebody behind, do you feel like you got stabbed in the back by somebody? Somebody behind me is talking about feeling stabbed in the back, okay? So is there a friend or somebody, I don't know if this is someone in spirit or if this is an angel trying to give me a message. I've got a really tall person standing behind me talking about you feeling like you've been stabbed in the back. And it's a protective energy, so I'm going to say that I feel like this is a guardian angel of yours, okay? I'm getting, whatever this person did to stab you in the back, you have not let it out. You haven't either cried for it, you haven't gotten angry enough about it. There's something you're holding inside of you that you need to voice. You need to get it out, and you need to do it where you feel safe and you feel protected in doing so. I'm seeing, again, I'm going with this as a really strong guardian angel energy. I'm seeing writing a letter to get it out and to get every single feeling out. I'm hearing, you know, get the pillow, scream into it if you need to. I'm seeing punching bags. I mean, like, you've got to get it out of you. There is something you are absolutely right to feel the way that you feel. Stop trying to hold it in and hold it back. Don't worry about whether you're being polite, is what I'm hearing, that you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings. Well, you don't want to stoop to that person's level. Don't worry about hurting someone's feelings or stooping to that person's level when it's just you and an angel helping you to get that out. Really allow yourself to go a little bit crazy, if you will, to be a little bit wild, That is really important for you. You've got to get that out. Don't hold back, okay? And then that is it. We're clear and done with that message for you. I hope that helped. And then, what's your name?
Krista.
Krista, okay. Wow, you have got a lot of angelic energy around you. Do you work in healing or anything?
I heal a lot of people.
I was going to say, counseling? Would you call it counseling?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I am like, when I get a big cold rush, which I just did, to me, that is somebody that works in a big manner of healing in some way, shape, or form. Your purpose here in this lifetime on this planet is to be a healer. You heal with your words, you heal with your hugs and your touch, you heal with your very presence. Some people just need to be around you to feel better and to feel like it's going to be okay. And you have got tons, and I mean tons. I would not be exaggerating if I were to tell you have 10,000 angels with you at least at all times, okay? I mean, the chills that I'm getting right now, it is important for you to understand. You've got Christ light energy around you. Because what I'm seeing around you is, do you do a lot of work? Do you pray to Jesus? Do you work with Mother Mary? Because Mother Mary and Jesus are coming in for you. I don't want you to think that that's something that you're a little bit, why would they come to me? Why would they pick me? Oh, they're picking you because you pick them. That's what they want you to know, is that you are absolutely a gift to this world, and anything that you need their assistance with, it is given to you the moment you ask. And you do the asking. You do the asking. And this is what their message is for you, is that notice the signs that we give you, that we're around. That it's not your imagination. It isn't wishful thinking. You really do have a very strong connection with that Mother Mary and Jesus energy because you touch so many other people's lives. They're talking about that heart energy too, that you've just got a heart of gold. Your heart is just so big and open, and you take on so much from other people because you know that that's the right thing to do. And so many people have tried to take this from you in one way, shape, or form. They've tried to turn you into this or change you into that or tell you that, I want to hear, like, did somebody told you that you have a pipe dream? I want to talk about what somebody has told you is a pipe dream. It is a real, valid dream that as long as you believe, Jesus, wow. Jesus literally just told me, with the faith of a mustard seed.
Oh, no way!
With the faith of a mustard seed, sweetie, you go as focused as you can possibly be. Do not let anybody steer you off of your track. You are meant to do that. That is not a pipe dream, and you have all the assistance of... wow, that is a huge, huge heart opening for you. You are really going to do something big. You are going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. Do not let yourself be distracted by other people's fears and insecurities. Okay? Okay, wow. Really intense energy. Was there someone in spirit that you were hoping to hear from, though? Because I do have a couple. I was going to say, I've got a couple people on this side. I've got a couple people on this side. So,
one in particular.
Can you give me a name?
Can you give me a name?
Okay, I will. I will. When you give me a name, that pulls them right in front, and I can just give you the message. So if that makes you feel better, we will.
Kendra.
Kendra? Okay.
Kindra. People started.
Oh, my.
Name with an E.
You got a lot of pain around this person. You've got a lot of pain around Kendra. I'm going to let her come close. I will try my best not to keep her too close because she's a very emotional person right now. She's standoffish a little bit about this. Was she somebody that... The impression that I'm getting is, not that she didn't believe in this stuff, I mean, this is something she believed in. She believed. She had faith. But... Thank you, Archangel Michael stepped through. She had a lot of self-esteem issues. She did not believe that she was worth what she was worth. She never saw it in herself, is what she's saying to me. Okay, she says, I just never saw what you saw. You saw it. And did you do a lot of counseling with her, or try to do a lot of healing work with her? Were you... I get
We were together 8 years.
I get
so,
Mother
yeah.
Mary energy with this. So when I see Mother Mary energy around that person, to me it's like, not only were you trying to nurture her, but you were trying to heal some part of her. That there was a lot of, again, self-worth, self-esteem issues around her soul and her spirit. And the impression that I get is that even now, she's having a hard time opening up and receiving that. She's really had, I don't know what her childhood was like, but she's talking about her childhood being very detrimental to her her spirit, if you will. And she says, you did a phenomenal job of pulling a piece of her back to herself that nobody else in the world had ever given her. And she wants you to know how grateful and how much love. She's asking me to give you a flower. She says that, oh my. You get 2 flowers from her, not 1.
Because that's what she would do.
You get 2 flowers from her, and she said, you know, she just sends you so much love, and she says, you know, it's just a thank you. It is just an absolute heartfelt thank you. Do you, I'm seeing writing again, do you write to her?
Oh, no, I talked to her.
Okay, well,
As if she was sitting right here.
there's something about, maybe do you have a letter that she wrote you that you hang on to? There's something about something in writing associated with her that's going to be really important. So either, did you just write something to her?
Oh, I didn't write it to her. I wrote it when I came in.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, she will not let me go until we talk about writing. So this is her way of acknowledging, you know, she's around. She hears you. She is never going to be too far from you. She is with you. Anytime, she's always in, she says, you know, we've got that heart connection. Again, you know, love is eternal.
Soulmate.
Absolutely, and she is. And what she's saying to me is, you know, she's not necessarily like a guardian angel. She does give you some space from time to time, but she comes in every time you think of her, every time you call her name. She is here, and she wants you to know that, you know, part of what she would like to gift to you is that healing and that closure, you know, that there is somebody else who is going to have an energy that, she's telling me, you have somebody new coming along. You have somebody coming your way that is going to be a romantic encounter. And she says the energy might be similar to mine. They might remind you of her in one way, shape, or form. She's telling me it's like you're going to get a sign from this person that is so Kendra, that it's like, there's your approval, okay? Like if you needed to know, is this the one you approve of? Is this the one that you think that is right for me? It's just going to be so in your face that this person has her approval, and this person is going to be the one, if you're looking for the one. I know it's hard to say it's the one because she's the one in your heart and in your soul and in your spirit and in hers too. She says, you're always going to be the one. She's always going to be the one. But, you know, it's not going to do you any good to just go through life without somebody else who's going to be complimentary, is what she's saying. You know, somebody complimentary. Somebody that has, the person that she's showing me she's bringing into your life is going to have a very strong healing background as well. Either they work in the medical profession or, you know, in the healing field, but this person is going to strongly have that healing connection, and that's that complementary energy. Something about, you know, the yin and the yang almost, you know, somebody who is completing your sentences. You know, I've got one half of the information, they've got the other half. When we put it together, we've got this beautiful whole. So, you know, be on the lookout for that and know that that is coming to you. Now, she stepped back because, how did she pass? Because she's talking about the way that she passed being something that you really have a hard time with, okay? So I don't know what her passing was, but I do want to give you the message that she's saying, you know, it's weird because the feeling that I get is like I'm not proud, you know, I'm not proud. I don't know how she passed away, if it was, she's giving me the word dignity. Dignity, like she kept her dignity.
Her heart stopped.
Okay.
She was driving. She had heart disease, and they only found out 2 years before she passed. She was driving and her heart stopped.
It makes so much sense when you tell me that, because what I'm feeling is, you know, my heart is heavy, you know, and I feel like I want to, you know, kind of bend over like this. What's funny is that she gave me that message, you know, the irony is that she told me she wasn't proud about it. And I think that the reason she was putting that she wasn't proud about it was that again, you know, she was capable of loving you. She was capable of loving others. She wasn't capable of really, truly loving and forgiving and understanding herself. In some way, shape, or form, she held that heaviness in her heart. And it created like a wall, if you will. You know, it just shut her off. I don't know if she suffered from depression or if she was taking any sort of, I'm getting medication.
She had heart medication.
I was going to say, and obviously if she had,
very, very tired.
that makes sense to me because, again, I'm feeling this, you know, this energy. It's really low. We want to talk about the medication. I don't know if the medication complicated things.
Can I write this?
Yeah,
down?
please do.
It's just like,
Please do.
because there was an issue with her medication. They changed her medication right before she passed.
Okay, well, I'm going to say that, you know, this doesn't come through if it isn't meant to. So, you know, the fact that she's bringing up medication, and again, the way that it makes me feel is that, you know, I don't know, would you say, you know, she just had a hard time speaking up for herself? I feel like she had an...
Oh, no, she had no problem telling you what she had to say.
Well, let's say this.
She knows she didn't know you. She would tell you.
Let's say this. If it came to her own health, something that would be a burden to somebody else, the impression that I'm getting is that she felt like something wasn't right, and she knew that she should have spoke up, like I should have said something to the doctor, I should have made an appointment, and I should have said, you know, this just doesn't feel right. But she ignored that. She did not accept that for herself, and that's part of what the issue is, or was, is that, again, there's that, you know, holding that heaviness in your heart. You're able to tell everybody else exactly how to treat themselves and who to be, but when it comes to yourself and honoring your own self and doing what's loving and nurturing to you, she just did not have that strength, if you will, you know. And I do think that the medication, again, because I'm feeling so low and so
They
tired.
changed it like it was weeks before she passed. Like they changed it the day that she passed. She went and got blood work, and they said something about blood work too. They wasn't sure like what happened, but she was coming back. Her heart stopped.
It's got something to do with the change of medication, because again, this does not come up unless it's meant to. It does not come up unless it's meant to. Something about that medication, she had an inclination, she had an instinct, she had an intuitive hit, and she just did not speak up for herself. She did not follow through and get herself the care that she needed. And I think that the impression she's giving me is she was so busy taking care of everybody else that she just put herself last, and she figured it would work itself out. And for that, she's sorry, she says, you know. Wow, she's already heard what you've said and is answering it in my head. That is, wow, okay. It's like, slow down.
Of course she is.
It's like, I understand, yeah, but I can only keep up with something that's very, very rapid and very fast. So I want to talk to you. I was going to say, I want to talk to you. The impression that my guides are giving me is you are very telepathic and she is very telepathic. You don't need to question whether it's her. This is where you need to get that pen. This is why she keeps talking about that pen and paper. You need to write what you hear in your head as her in your conversation. You need to write it down. Something about writing it down is important to her. She's saying if you write this down, number one, it's great to have that evidence, you know, that this is what she's saying, but she's talking about writing it down daily and as often as you can so that you can go back and you can see over the days and the weeks and the months this conversation taking place and have that evidence and that validation and that reassurance for yourself that if you have questions about who you can trust, you know you can trust her. You absolutely believe with all of your heart that she loved you and still loves you and will always love you, and she's going to give you what is the most loving and accurate advice, okay?
You too.
I mean, there's a really strong impression on you writing to her, so please do, for her sake. She says, please, write. It's not that you can't talk, but something about writing it down is really important so you have the evidence to go back and say, gosh, 2 weeks ago, didn't you say something to me about this? You know,
She said something to me
and,
about
right, and that's what she's saying. You know, it's
all the time. You do it all the time.
it's so important for you to write that down and to be able to go back and see it for yourself. Not that you not that you doubt it, but it's feedback you need to see so that you can trust more and more of what's coming your way. Okay.
Has the pen that's on the floor in front of her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have you thought about working with Kuan Yin? Kuan Yin is the goddess of compassion. She's, you know, like Jesus is in Christianity. Kuan Yin is like Jesus in like Buddhist belief systems. Tibetan countries use Kuan Yin a lot for their representation of like a Mother Mary, okay? And it's funny that you're getting this energy coming through because she just stepped through. I want to talk to you. She's bringing this pink energy with her, which is, again, compassion. She says, you know, you have a lot of compassion to give. But there is something about, I want to explain to you a little bit of the story of Kuan Yin, okay? Kuan Yin energy, her basic legacy or legend, if you will, is that like Jesus, she ascended, you know, resurrected, or was able to, you know, overcome, you know, what we would call like earthly, material, egotistical mind frames. She was able to ascend, but she decided instead of leaving and to take that ascension and to be like a Christ, that she would stay here and stay present until everyone felt the same as she did, that she was going to be last, not the first, okay? And this energy is really strong with you. I feel like that's who you are in essence too, is that you put other people's healing and nurturing before yourself. Kendra's stepping through on that and saying yes. You know, this energy is about taking yourself a little bit, it's funny she's giving me, take yourself a little bit more seriously. That's what she's impressing me with. Take yourself a little bit more seriously. Show yourself the same kind of love and compassion that you give to others. This is what's needed for your healing right now. You've got a bunch of things that, I mean, like I'm seeing like, once this wheel starts turning, it's going to go faster and faster. So I want to talk about momentum. You've got a couple things that seem little right now, like little sparks of hope, little sprouts of growth. If you allow yourself to love yourself and take yourself and your own self-love a little bit more seriously, you're going to have this momentum build up to where you're going to have a lot more of those little growths and little sprouts. Not little sprouts, but turning into these big, big things. So it's like, be prepared for things to speed up. Be prepared for things to be happening on a more regular basis. I'm hearing that you need to learn to pace yourself too. That it's going to be a little bit overwhelming if you don't. And this is again about, you know, pacing yourself is about, I've given this much of myself to other people. Now I have to return myself that much as well, okay? So pace yourself and keep up with that and watch this grow because you've got a lot of growth opportunities coming your way, okay? And with that, they have all stepped back. I hope that, wow, you know,
Absolutely.
That was a pretty intense message.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then what's your name? Natalie. Are you into anything with healing or healthcare or anything that has something?
I help a lot of people.
Okay, because you've got Archangel Raphael around you. Archangel Raphael, you're wearing this shirt too, this emerald green shirt. Emerald green is the sign for Archangel Raphael. And not only Archangel Raphael, but also there's an ascended master called Hilarion, who is like a Jesus, you know, very, very much understands human ego versus spirit and soul, and has, you know, risen above it, if you will. And that energy is very strong and powerful around you for whatever work that you do. These two people, you know, the angel and ascended master energy, they come in very strongly with you. So does, in fact, this is so funny. They're talking to me about silver and the moon, okay? So when I hear about silver and the moon, I want to talk to you about, what's funny is we're talking about our spirit guides may pop in. Your spirit guide, who is a chemist, is popping in on this. I want to say that her name would be like Silver Moon, okay? So what our spirit guides that work with our chemistry, they work with, again, just like Archangel Raphael, as I explained earlier, it's not just our physical healing. It's about emotional and spiritual healing, mental healing, our physical healing, whatever type of healing and health that we have going on in our system. This guide is bringing you information. I want to talk about the information that's coming to you recently, okay? If it hasn't already come, there's something coming your way. Something out of the ordinary of what you have been doing or experiencing. Either a new modality, like I'm seeing either studying or going to school for it, okay? If there's anything in particular that has caught your attention once or twice or 3 times, pay attention to the repetitive things that keep getting your attention. Because that is a sign, that is your chemist's way of trying to put some information in front of you. Also, it's your doctor-teacher's way, another spirit guide. Our doctor-teachers bring us the information. The chemist is who helps us to balance it all, take it in our physical, our spirit, or whatever body needs that healing. But these two are going to start bringing you things that are related to something new with your healing. I'm hearing, have you ever heard of Bach flower remedies? Bach, B-A-C-H, like the composer. Bach flower remedies they're called flower essences, okay? And what they do is, it is an alternative form of healing, and this is something that I'm hearing you would be very interested to learn more about. So write down Bach flower remedies, in particular, where you can find, there's one that you can find pretty much more commonly than any other, and the one that you can find commonly is called Rescue Remedy, okay? And what this does is it's got, I think it's 5 different flower formulas, if you will, in this one little thing. You can get it at Whole Foods, you can get it at any like natural healing store, but Whole Foods does carry this. This is a really popular one. The other ones, if you get really interested in this, you're not going to find them at Whole Foods. You may, but it's going to be a really hard thing to get. What's important about this 5 flower formula is that they call it Rescue Remedy because it's for people who deal with a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, tragedy, trauma, panic. This is something that it works on a subtle level. If you know anything about subtle energy, if you don't, this is your inkling to start looking into the fact that we have chakras, the fact that we have an aura, what things we are affecting by that. The thing about the flower remedies for you is that it's going to affect the chakras and the auras, and it's going to help people to kind of clear some things out that they need to clear out and bring some things in that they need to bring in, okay? So whatever these 5, I don't know what the 5 flowers are, but this person in spirit, this chemist of yours, is saying it's really important to know what the 5 flowers are. So if you don't find, thank you, my chemist is saying, there could possibly be 2. There is one called a Rescue Remedy, and there is one called a 5 flower formula, okay?
Okay, so they're both, it's 2 different.
Yeah, they might be the same because, again, Whole Foods may not carry something called a Bach flower essence with 5 flower formula, but they might be more comfortable carrying the Rescue Remedy because it's packaged differently is what I'm seeing, is that they're packaged differently. But they both essentially do around the same thing, however there might be a slight difference. So the thing that I'm getting from my doctor teacher is that there is a flower essence repertoire. It's like an almanac or a Bible, a reference piece, and each flower has its own properties that deal with the spiritual, the physical. It's again about all these subtle bodies. Each essence deals with the subtle bodies. And there's something in this essence that's going to benefit whatever you're doing right now. But you might find that as you play around with this stuff and you recommend it to others and they get their results, that you want to learn more about this and play around with it yourself and see your own results. This might lead you into getting more interested in crystals. This might lead you to getting more interested in doing energy work like Reiki. It might lead you to doing some things. I'm hearing quantum touch, or maybe even possibly a form of massage, like where you actually put your hands on somebody, okay? This is all combined. It's about, this is like, the information that I'm giving you is going to point you in a lot of directions, and it could take 5 to 6 years for you to really grasp on and just, it's something you're going to become passionate about very, very much, because I feel like the impression they're giving me is this is in harmony and very much in resonance with where you're at and what your goals are and what your focus is. Okay. You've got a protector guide coming in too as well. Protector guides, I'm talking about all these different guides that we have, and I'll go back to this in a second, but I want to address your protector guide. Protector guides are about boundaries. They're helping us to bring in what we want and keep out what we don't. Your protector guide is coming up because it's like, not that there's a whole lot you need to keep out, but you do need to strengthen those boundaries a little bit. I'm hearing about balance. Don't give more than what you are receiving back. There are certain people you give too much to, and you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot force them to drink. And the more that you try...
I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your protector guide is very much saying, that this is something you're going to have to learn to address now, because the more people that you work with, the more people are going to take and take and take and take from you if you don't put that boundary up now. So take now as your little opportunity. If you think if it's something that's troubling you now, it could become overwhelming for you with your growth.
Now you had someone else tell you that knows what I tell you all the time.
Absolutely. And you're wearing this, what's your necklace? I'm seeing, your protector guide is telling me to point out this necklace.
Stand up, show her yours. We both bought these yesterday, and I forgot mine at home, and she gave me her spare necklace because these connect us.
Okay, let me tell you how it's connected.
Okay.
Kendra's daughter, Kylie, who is now 15,
Okay.
we went to the mall and she had bought herself that necklace. this very necklace, and her and me and Kylie were walking through the mall, and she had went to a different store, and Kylie said, I need to take you into the store, I want to buy you this necklace. I have the same one, like, and you put it in your car, it's for my mommy. I said, okay. So she forgot her bird, and I said, because even my tattoo, this is for Kendra.
I
Like,
have
it's
a
the
sparrow
sparrow.
right here too.
So
Okay.
we bought this yesterday, and she bought the same exact one, and she's like, I said, you bring your bird to wear, and she goes, I was wearing it tonight. I said, no, you're supposed to wear it today. So I gave her my necklace that Kylie, which
Thank
Kendra's
you.
daughter got.
I was
So-
gonna say, because I felt like I had Kendra coming back talking about this, so I'm like, what is it about, I cannot
Why you better wear my
stop. I
necklace?
can't stop
That's her.
focusing,
Why you
I
better
can't
wear my
stop
necklace?
focusing on your necklace. And that ties the three of you together, that was the one thing that ties the three of you together.
She has the same, she
I have
has,
it on me, but
But the sparrow is
She
what
had no-
ties the
here's
three of
the
you
thing,
I have
together.
that's
sparrow tattoo.
she didn't know that Kylie had bought me the necklace, and she bought a necklace in Deb's, and said, look what I bought. I said, Kylie just got me this. We went into a different store. So the connection is she had got that necklace, Kylie got me that one, and I bought this one yesterday, so, wow.
That makes sense, because like I said, I'm like, okay, I know the three of you
If
are
anyone knows
connected.
about the sparrow, Kendra does.
That's,
Like,
okay, well, that's
Has to
why,
be.
I could not leave that alone. So, just if you were hoping to get a message from her, you know, that's the way of getting that confirmation. All three of you, she is with all three of you, sending each one of you her thoughts and her love. So, and send her daughter that too. She's saying, you know, just to mention that, you know, mommy came through, mommy's okay. Something about her needing to know that mommy is happy is important. Whew. Wow, I was gonna say, and she's getting really choked up, and I'm. You don't need to panic. She's like, I feel like I got to say the right words. I got to give exactly the right things, and that's why she gave you 2 roses. One of those roses is for her daughter. I'm like, why did I give her 2? Well, that's for the, okay. And she just sends that love, and her message to her daughter, funnily enough, you know, red is about passion. It's about follow your passion. You know, stay focused on what you're passionate about. And she is like she's going to be a guardian angel. She's always going to be around her daughter, very much so. Her daughter may wonder sometimes that, you know, it's made up.
She does.
Yeah, and this is,
I tell her all the time.
this rose is a way of her trying to get across that no, it's not made up. It's really true. And tell her to watch out for pennies, dimes, feathers, songs, pictures of her mom knocked over. You know, she's saying, I try to get all. She tries a lot of different ways. Her daughter she's talking about dreams. She comes into her daughter's dreams. She says, whenever she dreams of me, just let her know that is me, that I'm never far away. I'm still here. I'm just in a different form. Oh. Her daughter's got a lot of nervousness going on in her. She's impressing me very hardly in my solar plexus right now. She keeps on telling me to tell her it's okay. Everything is going to be okay. It's all right. There's nothing to fear.
I seriously think she hasn't, like, grieved it. I don't know.
She hasn't. It's in my gut, so it's something that I'm either stuffing down or I'm holding in, or I'm holding it back. The thing is that Bach flower, the rescue remedy, I think that's for her. I think that's for Kaylee, too. I think that Kaylee would very much, because she's such a young girl, she would be able to pick up on the subtle energies of that, and that would help her to kind of, because it's a tragedy, it's a trauma. You know, she's lost her mother, and it was totally out of, you know, this clear blue sky. She wasn't expecting this, and how do I deal with this? You know, this is what I'm hearing from her is, you know, she's got to have some way to deal with that anxiety. That anxiety is not going to be something that just goes away. Even grieving is not making it go away. It's something that, what she has now learned, it's funny, my protector guide is telling me this too. What she has now learned is that, you know, she's got a trust issue. She's got a trust issue, and it's stuck right here so bad that it's okay to trust. She's stuck here and she can't get back to her heart, and she's doing it because she doesn't want to feel what's in her heart. So we've got to get her nervousness under control so that she can allow herself to grieve. And Mom's saying, tell her to write me letters. If she's been writing me letters, I've been standing over her shoulder every time, every word that she has written. I have seen it. I am there. I hear every word she has to say. If she wants me to help her with something, tell her to write the letter and say, Mommy, you know, I want your help with this or whatever. And she says Mommy a lot. I know she's not a young child, but she keeps on saying Mommy, you know, and she wants that to be, she's trying to give me as much evidence.
She has a 15-year-old, and then she has a 3-year-old too.
maybe that's, okay, I was gonna say, maybe that's for both of them too. You know, it's like mommy's still going to be around. The 3-year-old doesn't quite know exactly what to make of it all right now, is what she's saying. She said it's more important for her to deal with the oldest, because the oldest is going to be that link to mom, you know, and that how she handles mom's passing and deals with that throughout life is going to be passed down to the younger sibling. So, you know, she's saying it's so important to get through to Kaylee right now. It's really important to get through to her and to do what's necessary. I don't know if she's been put through counseling or anything. There's something about...
Okay, her uncle told her she needed to go to grief counseling.
Okay.
Kylie didn't want to go. She called me and she said, I don't want to go. And I said, Kylie, you need to go. Like,
She
you
doesn't-
meet really
that's-
good people there.
she's
And
afraid.
Yeah.
She's afraid. That's where that is. That's why she's bringing that up. Is she's afraid to trust, because again, she doesn't want to
I swear
open
she
up
only
her
trusts
heart.
Me, and it's like, I mean, you know, we were together 8 years.
Right.
And I raised her from, I mean, Kendra came to my house with a garbage bag and a baby. You know what I mean?
Right.
So she only trusts me. Like, I'm not.
What I'm hearing is because that's not going to work. That modality is not going to work for her. It's just not going to
It's
work.
Kylie. It doesn't work.
What she's saying though is that there might be like a support group for other children who have lost their parents.
That's what she went in. Ricky took her. There were other teenagers there. That it was a grief thing, and there was like other teenagers. She's like, well, there's other kids that have lost their parents there. And I was like, Kylie, that'll be good for you, you know. And she went to like 1 or 2 of them. She's like, I said, did you have a good time? She's like, yeah, I really did. I said, see, you were scared for nothing, but she didn't go back. Like, she only went a couple times, and that was it. And I swear, like, she is not. It's all in there. It is.
And that's what she's saying. You know,
I can't even bring it out.
she's afraid. She's afraid. She's afraid to get. She is so afraid to trust people with how she feels, because she's afraid that once she starts to feel, she's not going to be able to stop.
Control it.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to. She is really trying hard to hold on and be strong and be, you know, it's like Little Miss Independent, and I can do it all myself.
Little Kendra.
And, you know, this is something that, you know, she's hoping that if mommy says, you need to do this, please, for me, will you do this?
Absolutely. I
Maybe,
will.
you know, and she's saying maybe that will get across to her. If you can tell her, you know, for me, mommy really wants you to do this. This will help you. This is going to help. You know, mommy's not going to, you know, not be away from you. She's always in your heart, and she's always around when you write to her, but mommy really needs you to do this. Okay? And with that, we are done. I thank you. That was a huge message.
Thank you.
And I'm back up here to you. Somebody keeps on tapping me on the shoulder. Do you have a father? I mean, I've got father side energy. I was going to say, it's either father or grandfather here, somebody very, very close to me. Whew. I've disconnected a couple cords back to that. All right. Whew. I want to talk about the fall. He wants to talk about the fall or autumn, or is something going on in the fall, special memories from the fall. He's showing me the fall, something about that time. Does that mean anything for you? If not,
It could.
do you have some plans that you might be planning, like a trip or a vacation or a party, something, some sort of event in the fall? I'm hearing births. Is anybody's birthday? Was his birthday in the fall?
I know, but, I know.
Okay. I'm like, he won't let me leave this one alone, so I've got to keep on going with this. All right. Are you holding on to something about his passing? How he passed in particular?
It's like necessarily how he passed, but that's what it is. He died like a week before my birthday, which is early, like.
Okay, all right. I'm like, he will not let me leave this one alone. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just give what I get. He really is trying to get a message across about this time, you know, and that if he could have planned it at any different time, you know, he would have, because it's close to the holidays. He's talking about the holidays. Were the holidays really hard for you this year in particular? I'm hearing this year's holidays, you know, like the recent holidays were really difficult. And he wanted you to know that he was around during those holidays. But again, the most important piece of his message is that I just wish I had passed at a different time, because it does make it a little bit more difficult when that time comes up. It's like, one thing after another, after another, after another, is a reminder that he's not with you, physically. But he's saying, again, I am with you always in spirit, and in your heart, that love is eternal. He is always around you no matter what. But he wanted you to know that, he was sorry about when he passed, okay?
It's okay.
Do you have something going on at work?
Yes.
Okay, because he's talking about work. He wants to talk about work. Whatever it is going on with work, is this something that you feel like you don't have help with? Because I'm getting this impression, like, ask me. I can help you with your work situation, okay? Do you feel like a lot of your work ethics are how your father raised you, or very similar to how your father believes, as far as, this is the right thing to do, you need to be up and be on time? Something about, I raised you to believe this way. Your ethics and your morals, your values, all your virtues, they're very similar to mine.
It's my grandfather, but that's very true.
Okay, well, let's go with that too, because, I want to bring through, I do have both of them here, and I have a couple people on mother's side too, in spirit. So I don't know who's going to connect. Maybe some people over here might connect together. I feel like there's some mutual stepping in together. But what I get this impression of is that you need to follow your ethics, your values, and your morals, and you need to stand your ground, and you need to feel confident in doing so. And if where you're at is not a match, don't feel like you're stuck there. Don't be worried about, can I get out of this? It's like, I'm hearing, don't worry about what the news says about the economy. Don't worry about what the news and people in the media say about finding a job right now. If you don't feel like where you're at values your worth and gives you the respect and the dignity that every human being deserves, somebody's really on their soapbox in the way that it's coming through, you do not have to tolerate that. And, again, it's funny because Archangel Michael energy is coming through very strongly with you. Even that blue shirt that you're wearing is Archangel Michael, letting you know that you've got that empowerment with you. Stay empowered, stay respectful of yourself, keep those boundaries together, and ask for both father and grandfather to help, kind of have your back on this. You're going to find that you're going to have, they call them whisperings. So, I don't know if you've been receiving these insights or these thoughts, but they say, like, we whisper these ideas to you, is what they're telling you. They're saying, we've been whispering some guidance to you one way or another. Believe that really is them giving you that guidance and trying to give you that assistance to point you in that right direction. There is something about standing your ground and being safe, guarded, and protected, that they want to impress upon you, that they are there with you for that. I've got like a grandmother and somebody else next to grandmother. She's kind of standing behind grandma, so I don't know if this is like her mother or if this is somebody that would have been like her sister, but there's two women connected with grandmother energy on this side. I'm hearing the word catering. I am hearing catering from grandma, okay? Oh, ouch, okay. Who are you catering to? Somebody, we're still on this work situation, Do you feel like you have to cater to every little thing? It's like every little minor detail, something about you are catering to somebody that you feel like you have to. You're in this place, there's a part of you that says, this isn't right, I don't need to do this, I don't want to do this, but I have to do this because that's my job, That's the message that she's giving me. Like, you do not need to be catering to anybody. That you're a stronger woman than that. You're a more brilliant, more intelligent woman than that. And she's saying, like, don't settle. That's the word that I'm getting from her, is settle. Don't settle. If you're afraid to make some noise, if you're afraid to, I don't know what she did in life, but I mean, like, this woman's like talking about going to the president of the company. Like, you just go straight up to the top and you tell them, look, this is what's going on, this is how I feel about it, and this is not right, and this is what I deserve, and you do not settle, you do not keep your mouth shut, you just go up and you stand up for yourself. So I don't know if that was her personality in life, and that's what she's trying to get across to you, but that's her message, is, cause a ruckus, create a stir if you need to. I don't know what is going on at your work, but, on both sides, they're in cahoots, they're saying, like, look, you've got to stand your ground and you don't have to take this. And if you feel like you have to take this, then why are you catering to people? Get out, move on, don't worry about it, And I'm hearing too, protector guide energy. So I'm going to go with protector guide energy for a moment. You've got a protector guide that's a Native American, and it's funny because this Native American energy, I don't know if you have Native American in your blood, if you're like, you know, maybe 1/8 of a quarter of whatever, but I'm hearing we need to talk about that this is in your blood. This is in your blood. So we want to talk about that you have a very close connection to the earth, to nature, that you really need to trust your gut and your instincts and your intuition a lot more than what you would normally give it attention, because there, again, we're talking about boundaries with the protector guide, so there's something about your boundaries that needs to be addressed here. And, you know, when I'm hearing respect, it's like, you know, somebody is just very disrespectful. I don't know who this person is. You know, there's one person in particular your protector guide is focusing on. There's somebody that is very disrespectful in your work environment, and it's like, does everybody let this person get away with this? You know, I mean, like, that's kind of how it comes across, is we just all turn a blind eye to this person, like this is not a big deal, but really it is, and everybody agrees. But why aren't we saying anything? Why aren't we speaking up? Again, it's about those boundaries. You know, there's a point in being detached and, you know, letting other people's problems be other people's problems, but when other people's problems become your problem and everybody else around you, their problem too, it's time to stand up and do something about it. You know, that's what I'm getting from your protector guide, okay? We're switching subjects, okay? Grandmother wants to talk about your love life, so we're going to go to your love life. That bad. I mean, I'm seeing the color gold, so that's good, you know? I feel like that's a sign. To me, whenever I see gold, it's like a heart of gold, you know? Either you have a heart of gold, or the person that you're with has a heart of gold. If you're not with anybody currently, just know that, you know, you're radiating, you know, that golden sort of energy, and the person that you're going to be pulling towards you is going to be of a like vibration. They're going to have that golden, you know, heart as well. Do you not let your hair down and have fun? Because I'm hearing you need to let your hair down, and you need to go out, and you just need, it's like, it's funny, now I see why the connection is there. We're going from work to relationship. It's like, you know, everything is so serious, you need to lighten up a little bit. You need to let your hair down, you need to let loose, you need to kick up your heels, you need to dance. There's something about dance that's really important.
Dance in a while.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm getting like, you need to dance. You need to let yourself, because what I'm hearing is, I don't know if, well, of course, this makes sense, but, you know, I'm going to go with it. You carry a lot of stress from your job, okay? And, you know, if you don't get a massage regularly, you have to have some sort of physical activity that's going to do something to get that. We create toxins when we have stress. That toxin sticks on our muscles, and then we have nothing. You know, we don't drink a lot of water in our society, and then once we've got all those toxins in our body, if we don't do anything to physically get that out, it becomes more and more toxic. It becomes more and more painful. So if you're somebody that gets massages often, this is a way of saying, you know, go get a massage, but if you don't want to go and pay for a massage, what you really need to do is just stop being so damn serious and lighten up. You need to go out and have fun. You know, the best way to go out and have fun and help get all that toxic stuff out is to sweat it out doing something that you love that doesn't feel like it's a chore, it's something fun. So go dance, you know, and that'll help you to kind of, again, get that stressful energy out, break up some of those toxins, you know, drink water while you do it. But go out and have fun, you know, because I think that this is amazing. Well, it's not amazing. It might be amazing to you. I say that whenever Archangel Metatron comes through, I think it's amazing. Archangel Metatron energy comes through with you, and what Archangel Metatron is about knowing that you have a spark of God within you as well, okay? And that you are powerful. You are not dependent upon anybody outside of yourself for anything, as long as you stand in your truth and you act like who you are. You remember that you're powerful. Empowerment is a big word around you with this, but Archangel Metatron is talking about the law of attraction for you, okay? If you've ever, you know, been in a bookstore in the last 6 years, The Secret is a big, big thing about the law of attraction. There's also another channel, a medium, that channels a group called Abraham, and it's called Esther and Jerry Hicks have a book on the law of attraction that is a little bit more inclusive of information than what The Secret does. The Secret kind of leaves out some really important details. I want to recommend The Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks to you, okay? Because what Archangel Metatron is saying is that, you know, you're getting what you're putting out there, okay? And if you're putting out a lot of stress, and if you're putting out a lot of feeling, you know, I don't want to say lack, but feeling, you know, blocked is more the word. If you're feeling blocked, you're putting that out there. You know, if you're feeling like things are just, you know, mundane and they're not, you know, they're not changing for you, it's because you're not changing something about how you're perceiving something. So the best way to change something is grandma's advice. You know, let your hair down, go out and have some fun. By law of attraction, you should be attracting more and higher vibrating people and individuals into your life, whether they're romantic, whether they're work related, whether they're friendships, whatever. It's about, you've got to, you know, change up some things about what, you know, use your power wisely. Put out what you hope to receive back. If you can't do it at work, then do it in your playtime. If you can't do it in your playtime, where can you fit it in with work, you know? And where does your family come involved? Somebody wants to talk about, you know, balance. That you don't have those clear boundaries again, you know, about, you know, like, if say, you know, your work schedule is 8 to 5, I'm gonna work from 8 to 5, well, from 5 until 6, I'm stuck in my car. What can I do from 5 until 6 that's something that's me time? You know, is it listening to music that you love, you know, that you can sing along to and, you know, change your mood and frequency that way? Or is it putting in an inspirational tape? Is it, you know, listening to a book on CD? Whatever it is, if you've got that 1 hour, you need to give yourself that time, you know? And then when you get home, you know, what are you doing at home? From that point forward, it's about blocking your schedule out and with intention. What do you intend your life to be like right now? You've got everybody in spirit supporting you and encouraging you to do what is best for you right now. And it's all going to start with how you handle it. So, whew, okay, I hope that helped. Thank you. Okay, and what is your name? Angie. Okay. Save the best for last. That's what I just heard. Oh my goodness. Okay, were you hoping to hear from Mother Mary today? Because you're getting Mother Mary energy around you. This is really amazing. I want to talk about the Day of the Dead. They're showing me the Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead, I don't know if you're familiar with what the Day of the Dead is, everybody, but the Day of the Dead is a celebration of those in spirit, okay? It's a day that, you know, is set aside for everybody to bring out your dead and really celebrate the life of the person that passed away. Mother Mary coming through with this message, to me, is about you realizing that you're kind of you're like every day is the Day of the Dead for you, is what I'm getting the impression of. You know, that you celebrate people in spirit a lot more than what the average person does. Whether you are acknowledging this or not, you have a very potentially powerful gift. And what I say by potentially is that you're not embracing it. I feel like it's funny because Mother Mary is saying it's like this message is like being on a hillside and sunlight parting through the clouds for you. You know, having an awakening of sorts, an enlightenment. She wants to enlighten you, and so she's been working with you kind of behind the scenes right now. But we want to get more in front of you and get in front of you so that you can work more directly in dialogue with Mother Mary energy, because there's some healing work for you to be doing. I don't know if you're currently in a healing position, whether you're a counselor, you know, if you work in the healthcare field or in medicine of some sort, but I'm getting that this is something that's really strong around you. Whether you're acknowledging it and accepting it and embracing it or not, this is something that is a gift that you have. Do you find that people come to you and talk to you a lot about their issues, about their problems? And okay, yes, you're a healer. Yeah, you are. You're a counselor. You're a therapist. That's exactly, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so people come to you with a lot of their woes, and what you're doing is, you know, you're helping to kind of create that spin. And what's funny is that immediately Buddha comes in for you too. I don't know if you know, are a religious person, but you've got a lot of master energy around you. So when Buddha comes through, what Buddha is bringing me is the yin and yang sign. You know, somebody comes to you with all that darkness, and you help spin it and see the other side that is light. You know, you show people the whole picture. People are concentrating on what's wrong. You're helping them to spin it and see that, you know, there's another half to that, okay? And what I'm getting is that meditation is something that would be really good for you. I don't know, do you have a meditation or something like a meditation for you? Some people sitting down and getting their mind quiet doesn't work. You know, that's just not your cup of tea, and that's fine. But some people can get into a meditative state while they're cleaning their house, or even cutting hair might be a meditative state for you. It's something that, again, you know, it keeps you busy, keeps your physical, egotistical side of you busy, so that the other part of you can open up and allow that insight and inspiration to flow through. There's something that you're doing this naturally with, and I'm getting this sign of, you know, be more aware that that's what you're doing, is that you're meditating. You're in this state, and when you're in that state, I'm getting that you need to write down the ideas that come to you, because you're getting ideas, and some part of you, the logical part of you, immediately answers with that insight, no, that's not important. I'll get to it later. I'll remember that, and then you forget it. They're saying write it down, because you're getting a lot of valuable insights. You're getting some guidance on some things that you could be doing to help yourself, to help others. Because there's some part of you that wants to help others and is helping others, but it's like, can you take it to a greater scale? You've been asking about growth, or how can you grow in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if you wanted to, grow your business, if you wanted to branch out on your own. I'm getting this, you're asking questions, but you're not writing it down, and so you're not trusting that we're answering you. So your problem is not in the asking, your problem is in the listening. So we're really good, trust me, that's one of mine. Even though I do this, sometimes I have a hard time listening to what they give me to, which is why I tell everybody, write it down, because it's the best way. But what's happening is that's funny. They're showing me you cutting hair, and how many people's guardian angels or loved ones in spirit are standing behind there talking to either your guides or directly whispering thoughts in your ear. You are giving messages to people. Like, I don't know that you've ever thought about, being somebody like me, standing up in front of people and giving people the messages, but you're doing that. You're just doing it on a one-on-one basis, and people are paying you for a haircut. Or a color. Yeah. And this is a safe way for you to use that gift without coming out and saying, well, hey, I'm clairvoyant, and I can hear dead people around us. That just isn't your thing, but you are doing it. And this is the big message from, your spirit guides and from the angels that surround you too. The guardian angels of so many people are sending you their thanks. They're sending you that love. I'm getting a flower for you. Just do your best to embrace that as best as you can. Whatever works for you is what works for you. And continue to do some work with your meditative state, writing those notes down so that you can grow, because you are getting those insights. Was there someone in spirit you were hoping to hear from, either on mom's side or dad's side? I've got two people on both sides of me right now. Are both your parents they're not in spirit, are they? Both of your parents? Okay, I was going to say, because I feel like I've got one parent and either somebody that's like related to that person. Is it his mother? Is his mother in spirit?
Yes.
Because she's not standing very close to me, but there is, there's a connection between this person and this person. They're connected. So again, she's standing not right close to me, so I feel like it's a grandmother or great-grandmother energy. So this is his mother and your father. Okay. Was your father into gardening? Because he's showing me gardening, okay? And typically when somebody shows me gardening, either that's their hobby or that's your hobby. So if he didn't garden and it's not your hobby, the last thing is that it's symbolic, okay? So the symbology of gardening to me is that life is a garden, Sometimes we need to weed out what's in our life. Sometimes we need to dig new holes, and plant new things, okay? So when I'm seeing this gardening picture, it's about clipping. It's about clipping. To me, clipping the flowers off of your garden, it's like, to take the time to smell the roses, take the time to really relish in the moment. I'm feeling like what your dad's talking to me about is kind of the same thing that we had with you, is that you don't give yourself that time to let loose, to have something that is not necessarily. It's funny because he's saying it's not that you're not passionate about your hair, but something that you're passionate about as a hobby, something that you can really lose yourself in, whether it's reading a book, whether it's clipping flowers, whether it's cutting hair. Where do you lose yourself in your creation, aside from work? Because it's about having those set balance. It's about balance again. It's about, okay, I work this many hours a day, I have this many hours for myself, and I have this many hours for my family and friends. Really find that balance. He's going to help you to work on finding that balance. But he wants to talk to you about finding that balance and giving yourself the time to let loose, to have a little bit more fun, and to get out of your comfort zone is what he's saying too. He's saying, try new things, go new places. He's showing me a tree, and it's like, I don't know if you sit under a tree, but it's like, the impression that I'm getting is, someplace that you go, like, I know when I used to have a really, really stressful job, what I would do is I would just take my lunch break and I would go sit under a tree, you know, on a nice sunny day, someplace by some water. You know, it was just nice to just go and just be somewhere, not really have anything to do, and nothing to think about, just someplace to be. And that's what your dad is showing me, is like this tree, this place where you can go and sit. Again, there's water nearby, someplace that you can go to just be. I feel like this is something that's going to be important for you, not just as that message, but also I want to talk about like the time frame that I'm looking at this as. It's like June or July, okay? The time frame of this picture that they're showing me is a June or July day. Something in June or July is going to be significant for you. You know, if you look at the symbology, the literal meaning of the tree in bloom, in full bloom, you know, something is going to come, you know, fully into bloom in June or July, whether that's at work, whether that's in your, you know, relationships. They're not giving me anything specific. It could be all, you know. But again, there's going to be growth and it's going to be fully in bloom, okay? Your dad wants to talk about, first of all, he sends you his love. He's showing me a pink rose, that he loves you unconditionally, okay?